Joe Biden's trip to Iowa today shows his campaign is looking to expand the playing field, hoping to flip states that have traditionally stuck with the GOP in presidential elections. Farmers are, of course, a key constituency in Iowa, and views there are divided on the president's policies, from the trade war with China to his handling of the pandemic. Both have a deep impact on the economic livelihood of farmers. So ABC's Kayna Whitworth traveled to Iowa to hear from farmers on what's driving their vote.
Lindsay Larson has been harvesting this land in Iowa for 40 years. But in August, he lost more than 500 acres of corn to the massive storm that tore through Iowa.
I know that we've just gone through one of our worst harvests in 2020, but I'm already starting to make plans for 2021.
The lifelong Republican farmer among the crucial base the president won in 2016 and is now relying on for a second term.
The farmers are unbelievable. They're the heart of this nation.
1 in every 5 jobs in Iowa are in agriculture, pumping over $120 billion into the state's economy each year, leading the nation in production of soybeans and corn, most of which is used for ethanol production. But U.S. farmers have been left reeling from the president's trade deals, devastating weather, and COVID-19. The federal government giving more than $37 billion in aid to American farmers.
In fact, some people say our farmers do better now than they did when they actually had a farm.
He says because of his bailouts, our farmers do better now than when they actually had a farm. Where's this guy from? Who does he think he is?
The government administered some aid from those times of tariffs, but it didn't amount to cover the whole loss by any means, not even 50%. So there's pain there, but on the other hand, I think somebody had to call China out, because they were not living up to agreements.
Supporting Trump's trade policies and fearing potential new taxes and regulations by Democrats, Larson voted for him again.
But I understand that in the world market there's going to be times of pain, but the pain sometimes is necessary to get to an agreement where we can feel like we can go forward.
But the pain across the Midwest continues, hitting the rural residents like Wendy Johnson in Northeast Iowa.
There's something really innate in us about growing food.
After a career in fashion in Los Angeles, she decided to return back to her home state. She's been harvesting her land in Iowa for more than a decade, sustainably growing food on 2 farms. But she says the economic downturn has been devastating.
Those are concerns that I have, revitalizing rural communities, because a lot goes into that. Because agriculture is such a strong backbone to a lot of these rural communities and rural businesses. You know, we want to see our main streets active again, have shops and people in them. And right now they're dying.
Many consider farmers the original conservationists. And for Wendy, modernizing the farming industry is a key issue on the ballot.
Looking at the future of agriculture and not just the very present, because I think that we've done that for quite a number of years, just looking at fixing problems when we should be looking at prevention and looking at how agriculture is going to look into the future. There are candidates that are supportive of protecting soil as a natural resource and looking at the future of agriculture.
And for so many in Iowa, farming runs in the family.
Come here, Patch. Let's go to work. Come on. Well, as a little kid, I always rode around with my dad. So, I mean, I guess I've always wanted to be a farmer.
Mike Holden is a 3rd-generation farmer, now weathering the weight of being on the front lines during the pandemic.
My wife works in a hospital. My daughter that drove by here earlier works in a hospital in Des Moines, commutes. We're frontline people. I work 7 days a week, virtually 365 days. But if I don't come here, they're not going to get fed.
But he's feeling the impact of how the farming industry has changed.
It's an interesting way of life that has really become more corporate. And I've farmed for over 40 years now, and I'm not happy with the way farming has become. The neighborly thing, the thing that you used to do because you wanted to help. Sorry, I'm gonna get emotional here. You know, you wanted to help because that person needed your help.
This year, he chose to cast his ballot for Biden.
The money that the Trump administration then gave to farmers in Iowa to keep them afloat was welcomed, but not enough.
Yeah, it doesn't make up for the losses we had. It certainly softens the blow. I think it was bribery. I'm going to buy your vote. I'm going to throw you some money, and hopefully you'll keep supporting me. And they do, and I don't get it.
The bailout's not enough for him to overlook what he views as failed leadership and a lack of civility in the White House.
I think he's dangerously reckless. I think he's brutally insensitive and disrespectful. I mean, you can be tough without being a bully. Yeah. And we badly need some civility, in my opinion.
And Lindsay, most importantly, the farmers that I spoke with said no matter what happens on Election Day, they will still wake up early, they will go to work, they will do their jobs feeding the country.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.